Okay, we made it to our cabin. I'm gonna have, it's really super cute. We should have brought the dog. I was thinking that it was gonna be a lot more crowded and a lot more hectic than it was, and it really wasn't. We should have brought her. Now I feel kind of bad. But anyway.
We don't know what the night's gonna turn into either.
Yeah.
I mean, look around. It's empty right now, but 80 campers can come in the next 5 hours.
Yeah. So we are in KOA Hayward, Wisconsin, ready for a bike race. Here's our bikes. We're gonna go pick up our numbers. It'll be super fun. Here's our cute little cabin. Yeah. Staying here.
She's primitive.
Yeah, very primitive.
When they call it primitive, they ain't kidding.
There is a window air conditioner.
You see it.
But there's no bathroom. There is no sink. This is it. So super fun. Good morning, everyone. We were up at 6:30 in the morning. We are all set, ready to go. We have everything. I think everything is the way we prepared or not. Yeah, I'm not getting eaten by a bear. There's a bear on the road? There's a huge giant black bear. I want to finish the race and I can't.
Oh, I'll ride along with you.
Okay, it's
No problem.
on that side. I thought, is that a dog? Oh my God, it's not. And I think there's cubs.
Oh, that's all right. We'll scare them away for you.
Oh, and of course I didn't want to go all the way back. Oh,
Where was it?
right up here. Myself, what would I do differently? And I learned a lot of lessons with this, and one was I worked super hard. My watts, I don't know what I was putting out, but I was putting out a lot of watts, and I could never get any traction. And as soon as I would get some traction going and some momentum going, I'd have to slow down. I'd either be going up a hill in soft sand, standing up, sitting down. So I never really had that where I felt like I was, gaining on that. So I love my single speed for what it is, and I'm going to do something different. I'm not sure what. So we might do a gravel bike. Greg has 3 gravel bikes that I really like. And I went and test drove a Giant yesterday, and I think we're going to go, he's going to look at some Otzies as well. And I'm only 5'2", so when getting on there, and I need a small, right? And those are really hard to come by. It's either you got extra larges, and smalls are really a harder bike to come by, rather than a medium or a large. So with that, we are just kind of feeling our way through this. I'd like to go back to Gordon Pines and do that whole race again, do the whole course, the whole 53 miles, do it over again on different bikes. So I think we're gonna go camp there. It's a wonderful little town. It has some really good, it has ATV, it has bike trails, it has camping, it's small town, ice cream shop is wonderful there. And so we are going to probably go back maybe next week and do it all over again and see the difference in bikes. So I'm going to do it on just a gravel bike that I pick up. I don't know which one I'm going to do. I'll let you know. And then probably do it on my Lemire mountain bike and see how that feels, and time both of us. And it took me 5 hours, and that was 5 hours of constant pedaling. I did not stop pedaling from the time that they said go. 5 hours later, I was still pedaling. I never stopped. And so I was exhausted. I was spent. I had my water with me, and I would, sip from that. I stopped at the 30-mile aid station. I was feeling good all the way up until like mile 36. And by mile 36, I just don't know if I was not, I didn't have the technical skills for going through that gravel, but I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself either, going up not going up the hill, but going down the hill. Because when you're going down the hill, you can't get enough speed, and it just seemed like I felt anyway that I was just gonna endo right over when you hit that loose gravel. And so you have to read the road, which I was doing. You look ahead of yourself and never take your eyes off that road, and you go over to the left and go over to the right, and you kind of swerving in and out, right? And that's what you're supposed to be doing. So Greg and I are going to go on some more gravel rides, which I thought I wasn't going to do ever. I thought, well, I don't want to do gravel rides, but I think I'm going to do some gravel rides and, you know, take it to that next level. I really, really like mountain biking, and I like the adventure that it brings. One thing I don't like about my mountain biking though is, you know, the trees can be really close to you. Rocks, you know, you have to jump over rocks or bump over them, right? And so that can mess you up a little bit if you don't have a lot of technical skills on mountain biking. Road cycling, I don't have any interest in doing. There was a lady here in Minnesota who did a road race and ended up getting hit by a car, and she's really in a bad way right now. She's really messed up. She's paralyzed from that. And I always worry about hitting a car or, you know, somebody not watching for cyclists, right? So that's always a big concern for me. Gravel, I like that because you got this big, wide gravel road that's not well traveled. You know, most people don't want to, you know, pound down a gravel road and get their car all dusty or whatnot, right? So there's not a lot of traffic on there, especially if they're going to have a race. They'll put signs up and people are like, I don't want to go down there because there's like, you know, 200 racers, right? So you have that advantage for that day. So other than that, you know, you're going to run into wild animal, maybe a skunk or a raccoon. In this case, I ran into a bear, and I was not scared of her. I thought it was a dog at first. I thought, oh, look way ahead of on top of the road, coming from the right to the left. There's whose dog would be way out here in the middle of nowhere. And so I stopped my bicycle and looked up about a telephone pole in front of me, lengthwise. There is, I presume, just a male black bear, right? So I have my little whistle and I blow my whistle, which probably sounds more like a wounded rabbit than, you know, a distress call. And she got up, got on her hind legs, and would not move from that area, and did two little grunts, and then two baby bears come out. And I'm like, oh, well, I know that you do not go next to a mama bear when she has baby bears, because you'll be lunch, right? So I stayed and waited and waited and waited, and she just wanted to be seen, right? That was her message to me, is I want to be seen. You are not going to pass here. And I thought, great, I'll just turn around. I'm at mile 46 or 47. I'll just turn around, go 2-3 more miles, and find one of the guides or whoever is out there. And by the time I got to the next person that had a truck and he followed me through, the bear was gone, and I finished my race. So that's the only thing that I've ever come across other than, you know, just normal stuff. So I'm not afraid to be out there at all, and I don't want women to think, oh my gosh, you have to be afraid to be out there, because that's not it. I think you can be out there alone, but not really. There's 200, say there was 200 racers, right? And you all start out together, but then as you go down the race, you start splitting up and dividing, and then you're way off course from each other. So you have time to maneuver and really read the road well. So with that, I took a video of some of the race, and as we continue on, another thing we did is we sold our Airstream. So the Airstream, we loved it. We had it for 2 seasons, and took it to races, and we absolutely loved it. I think that we had this big gigantic truck that was pulling this 25-foot Airstream, and I think we just wanted to have something that was a little more compact. So we bought a 2026 this year Colorado So it's a smaller truck. So now we're thinking, okay, let's get a smaller camper because we really want to downsize. We want to bring our bikes. We want to make sure that we have, our food, our nutrition, our bikes, our gear, and that's kind of it. And so we're looking at buying something that's a little bit different. So we'll see how that goes. I had stopped doing any kind of YouTube, and I stopped, so I haven't been on the bike in competition for about 18 months. And I'll tell you what happened there. I hurt myself twice. So training on the single speed, of course, I get a tear in my left ligament in my knee. And I went to go to the doctor, and he says, no, you're not going to be biking for a while. You need to heal. So I kind of, stopped everything. And I went through, like I said, that identity crisis where I wasn't able to do any of the exercises. I wasn't able to do any of the things that I like to do. And it really kind of messed with my emotions of who I am. And I realized that there's a lot of parts, right? A lot of moving parts when you are when you're that physically active. And I like getting out there. It's good physical work. It's good mental work. You're able to feel like you really accomplished something, right? And so for me, I am glad that I took this time, and hoping to put more videos together. And it's not, for any other purpose than for the greater good. If there's a person out there that says, yeah, I hurt my back, and well, how did you get your back better? Or I hurt my knee, or I have fibromyalgia, or I have arthritis, or any of those things that everybody goes through all of this stuff. I went to the grocery store maybe 10 minutes ago, and I was bagging up my groceries at Cub, and this lady's walking towards me that I haven't seen for almost 2 years, and she's like, Jill, and she is a wonderful woman. She's very fit and very athletic as well, and very competitive, and she went through some really, really tough times in the last 18 months as well. Her child had died, and she had terminal breast cancer. And so, everybody has something, right? Everybody has these issues. Nobody has a get out of jail card free. Nobody has that. Everybody has an issue, right? There's not one person on this planet that doesn't. So, but how you deal with those, and how can you relate to those things that you have, right? And overcome different avenues that work for you. So, and you'll know when you're there. You just will know. So, glad to be back in Taekwondo. Glad to be back competing. Glad that my husband is right alongside me. And glad that I'm going to continue on making my little Jillzilla videos, because everybody, right? Everybody has that little Godzilla inside them that finds their balance and finds out where they want to be in life.